Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and today we're going to do another video on black triangles, and I feel like this is something that comes up almost every day with one of my clients, so I've already made a ton of videos like this, but they can get buried in various playlists. I have over 6,500 videos to date, so sometimes I like to recycle them. Maybe I say it better, maybe it makes it easier for you guys to find it if you Google search it. So I want to go over again why black triangles don't have to be taken away, why they're good, why they're healthy, and why you need to educate your patient about what is a black triangle, why sometimes we need to leave them, why sometimes we can't get them fully to go away, and why they should learn to embrace them. And I'm not totally anti-black triangles, but you really need to address this. Now, this is actually baked into most informed consents. I don't know what informed consent you're using, but the ones I'm seeing has it baked in to both aligner ones, Invisaligns, ClearCorrect. Remember, every aligner company has their own informed consent. If you are using an off-brand aligner or a white label aligner, you have to have your own informed consent. That is something that we do sell in our document store. If you go to straightsmilesolutions.com, click on store, click on documents, you will see a document store where we have carefully curated many documents, and I actually have hundreds more than I even have in the store. So if you are a concierge or VIP client of Straightsmile Solutions, we give you free access to unlimited documents. It's included for the months that you are active. Just let us know what you want. Do not buy them. If you are a DSN or DSI member, Dental Success Network, Dental Success Institute with Mark Costas, we also have arranged to give you guys up to 3 documents per year. I'm pretty flexible. I don't really count them. Obviously, you can't have all 500 documents, but you can definitely have what you need. Just DM us within the workspace. This has always happened for the last few years since I've been collaborating with them. It's just something that I give to their members. And I'll just keep doing it as long as, we keep collaborating together. So at least for 2022, that's a thing. Just message me in Workspace so that we can verify that you're indeed DSN or DSI. So yes, this is baked in. Exactly what I'm saying is already baked into informed consent. So as much as patients don't read always every line, you may have to reiterate that. You say, hey, this was covered in your informed consent. We talked about black triangles. So black triangles can be relative to many different things. It can be relative to, most commonly, the size and the shape of teeth. So teeth that are very triangular in nature, like this, versus teeth that are rectangular. We're all born with certain shaped teeth. Some of us have, and teeth aren't meant to necessarily be little chiclet rectangles. I know that you see that when you Google movie stars or people get photoshopped on their teeth or they're getting, 10 upper veneers. Yeah, they kind of look like rectangles, but that's actually not how teeth are meant to look. And you shouldn't try to modify your teeth to make it look unnatural. So you got to keep that in mind, that if they were born with triangular shaped teeth, they're going to have triangular shaped teeth unless they want to get veneers. We can do some IPR, some interproximal reduction up to a point. The max I will do, if it's indicated, and not everyone gets everywhere, it depends on the situation. Part of it is going to depend on the smile line, okay? So if it's visible, if it's noticeable, if they have a high smile line, a really high lip that goes up when they smile, and let's say it's in, the front 6 teeth, then yeah, maybe we'll do some IPR. But keep in mind, it also depends on the bite. So you can't just willy-nilly be doing upper IPR up here. And first of all, there's a time to do IPR and there's a time not. And please watch my previous video that I posted on wire sequence and sequence of movements. It's pretty much the same thing for braces as for aligners. I mean, IPR has to be staged and planned, right? Okay. So I can't just do it here unless the bite allows me to have clearance, because what's going to happen as I do it here is I'm taking away tooth structure, which is going to constrict the arch, which is going to bring the top teeth back, which might make the bite change, which might make the top teeth collide with the bottom teeth. So sometimes I have to do it on the bottom to make clearance for the top. So it's a lot more than just a little IPR. It actually becomes a big issue, and it can make the treatment get significantly longer because it's very, very, very hard to do your IPR accurately. I mean, I have a lot of IPR videos. You can use a lot of systems, but nobody does it completely accurate. I mean, you're talking about literal fractions of a millimeter. I mean, it's so small, your human eye can barely even see it. I mean, someday there might be a robot that does it accurately, but there's not right now. Right now, it's your fingers and hand pieces and files, and it's just gauges and it's impossible. So anytime you do massive amounts of IPR, you're going to have massive amounts of refinements. I'm kind of switching between aligners and braces. Braces are actually less of an issue. It's actually easier to do IPR and braces because it's more forgiving than it is in aligners. So just expect you're going to have double the amount of aligners. So if the original case started with 30 and then they asked for IPR, you're probably going to have another 30 aligners and you're probably going to have at least one, if not two, if not three more refinements. Every time you do massive IPR, you will have at least one or two more refinements. It'll just keep building on. So it's going to make the treatment go a lot longer. It makes you get frustrated, it makes the patient get frustrated. So you need to make sure that they're aware of the risks, benefits, and alternatives of IPR, okay? Also, IPR is taking away healthy tooth structure. We don't just randomly do it. I do not do it on kids. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it on kids and teens. Very rarely, almost never. It's not a part of the treatment plan. I don't even offer it. So if they ask for it, I'm sorry, you're too young, okay? Because we're taking away healthy tooth structure. We don't really know how cariogenic, how their diet's going to be, how things are going to be when they go off to college. What if they not very good about hygiene when they go off to college? What if they're not brushing and flossing when they go off to college? What if, who knows? If it's someone over 18, okay, you got a right to choose IPR then, okay? Then it might be an option for you. But it's a no to kids. I'm sorry, it's a no. So it's not even, it comes up, the parents ask for it, it's a no. And that's that. Why? Because I'm taking away healthy tooth structure. You're going to be much more likely to get cavities as an adult. You're going to be, much more like it's going to cost you. It's going to take away. Teeth are meant to wear down and actually file and get a little smaller as you get older with a more abrasive diet. We want that protection there. It's like saying, okay, I'm going to take away layers of my skin. It's on there for a reason. Leave it alone. Let it be. If you have a triangular shaped tooth, who cares? That's just how God made you. That's what veneers are for. And like I said, kids, you're not meant to look like chiclets, you're not meant to look all these movie stars. They all have veneers, okay? They don't have natural teeth. So I can't turn your natural tooth to make it look like that. It's just not possible. Okay. So you get my idea. Not on kids, not on teens. Sorry, not happening. Not going to do it. And if it comes up at a consult, you need to be clear about that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. This is your natural teeth structure. Okay. Now, so we talked about just shape and size and teeth, and that can come up in kids. On adults, sometimes you're going to have periodontal disease. Okay, I'm fine with that, okay? Like this kind of situation. First of all, this is so easy, this IPR. I could do this in my sleep with a disc, with a file, with a burr, with some hand files. I don't really care. Easy, no problem. Easy, fast, relatively accurate. Yes, you'll still have the issue with maybe some more refinements, but I see the point. I'm only going to do it if it shows up when you talk or smile, though. I'm not going to do it on random teeth that don't show up when you talk or smile. So I'm going to actually watch you. We're going to video you. We're going to map it out. So if there's one back here, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it, okay? A lot of people don't show lower teeth when they talk or smile. So no, I'm not going to do it down there unless there's some reason why I need to do it down there. But I will do it up on the top if you talk and smile. Some guys, they show more bottom teeth. Some girls show more upper teeth. So it's going to be customized where I'm willing to do it. And like I said, a lot of times if we do it on the top, we have to do it on the bottom for clearance. So every patient is going to be customized. You don't always get to choose exactly where, when, and how you get IPR and where we put it, okay? So you can request, but it doesn't mean we can do it. And the max I will do is 0.5 millimeters, okay? That's the max. So if this space, it doesn't mean all this is going to go away. It might just make this go away, and then this is a little bit closer. If you want this to look more like a chiclet, you're going to have to go get a veneer, okay? So that's the max we will do. After that is not standard of care. It's not healthy, and you just can't have it. So sometimes you have to say no to things. So 0.5, not on kids, not on teens, only if it's showing, okay? Not all random places just because you see it on a Clincheck. And remember, a Clincheck or some of these treatment plans that are out there, these simulations, they're not always realistic. It doesn't always show like that. Sometimes it's worse, sometimes it's better. You can't always predict how the gums are going to move and where the gums are going to be after treatment. They can go up, they can go down. A lot of it depends on if you do extrusions or intrusions. So we don't always want to jump into IPR for black triangles, okay? IPR for other things, like moving midlines, maybe a different story, because that's for a reason. That's just not for a cosmetic. So let's just wait, pump the brakes, not jump into doing IPR just because you see it on an Invisalign Clincheck that it looks like there's a black triangle. Because again, black triangles are self-cleansing. Black triangles are healthier. You have more enamel. it's your tongue can get things, you know, out of the holes a little easier. You're not going to get as much food and plaque trapped in there. You're not going to get as much calculus trapped in there. It's a good thing to have black triangles. And like I said, sometimes it's relative to the size or the shape of the tooth or to the gum condition that you came with. Sorry, I can't grow gums back. Only periodontists can grow gums back. Okay. And of course, there's fillers, and you can do with the perio, and fillers in the papilla, and there's the gumdrop technique, and there's all these expensive techniques that are probably not covered by insurance that can grow gums back, okay, and put fillers in there. But it's not something we're going to do as the orthodontist, and it's not part of your orthodontist treatment, okay? That is something separate. You can go to a periodontist and do that later at an additional cost after treatment. Again, we don't really know what it's going to look like, so let's not jump to conclusions about black triangles on an initial Clin Check, okay? Okay, so another thing is that you can start a case, you know, something like this, where there's a lot of overlap and twists and turns and crowded teeth, and maybe you don't see black triangles, but once we straighten them, they're gonna show up. Why? Because that's what happens when you have crowded teeth. And then we straighten them, the gums don't necessarily grow back into the places where they were supposed to be if we had done this when you were 8, 9, or 10, which is part of the reason why I love phase 1. Let's get the jaws to the right size while the patient is still growing instead of tipping teeth when you're an adult, okay? And when you're done growing. Why? Because the gums look better, okay? We don't have this issue where we've got funny black triangles that randomly show up that we weren't predicting. That's part of the reason why we do things early and not later, okay? So sorry that the black triangle was hiding in there and you didn't know about it, but it was there, you just didn't know about it, and now it just presented, okay? Again, all of this should be baked into your informed consent briefly, but I think if it's pretty obvious on a Clin Check that it's there, it's worth a conversation about, hey, we're seeing this, but we don't really know, you know, if this is really gonna look like that. Let's just see how it goes. When we finish the first set of aligners, we can reevaluate. We can see your smile position. We can see if you need some IPR or not. IPR is not always good. It actually is not as healthy for the teeth. It actually increases your chance of gaining cavities. You know, decreases viability of the teeth long term. It can increase your sensitivity to cold and sweets. So we only want to do it if we really, really need it and if it's really, really obvious. And there's only a maximum amount of IPR that we can do per tooth. And sometimes if it's on the upper, we have to do the lower too. It also makes your treatment take longer and increases the likelihood of needing refinements and more aligners. Boom. Often when you say all that, the patients are like, never mind, I didn't need that. So that's pretty much all I had to say about black triangles. Again, they are good and healthy and shouldn't always be closed. All right, thanks.